Testosterone. Testosterone is the foundation of all anabolic steroids. First isolated and synthesized in the 1930s, it is the primary male sex hormone and the compound from which many other anabolic steroids were later developed. Medical professionals originally used testosterone to treat hormone deficiencies in certain health conditions. In bodybuilding and strength sports, it became the benchmark against which other anabolic compounds are compared. Its historical importance makes it impossible to discuss anabolic steroids without starting here. Testosterone Enanthate. Testosterone enanthate is a long-acting form of testosterone created by attaching an ester that slows its release into the bloodstream. Developed for medical use, it became one of the most commonly prescribed forms of testosterone replacement therapy. Its popularity among athletes stems from its relatively stable release profile and widespread availability. The compound represents one of the most familiar examples of how pharmaceutical chemistry can alter the duration of a hormone's effects. Testosterone Cypionate. Testosterone cypionate is another long-acting testosterone ester that became especially popular in North America. Like testosterone enanthate, it was originally developed for medical treatment rather than athletic use. The differences between the two are relatively small, but both have played significant roles in the history of hormone therapy and sports performance. Its widespread use has made it one of the most recognizable names in discussions about anabolic steroids. Dianabol. Dianabol, also known as methandrostenolone, was introduced in the 1950s during a period when competitive sports were becoming increasingly international. Developed with the goal of enhancing athletic performance, it quickly gained popularity among strength athletes and bodybuilders. Its influence on the early years of modern bodybuilding was substantial, and many historians view it as one of the compounds that helped shape the appearance of professional physique competitions during the 20th century. Anadrol. Anadrol, known scientifically as oxymethylone, was originally created to help treat certain forms of anemia. Over time, its powerful anabolic properties attracted attention in strength sports. The compound became known for its association with rapid increases in body weight and size. Although its medical origins differ from many performance-focused compounds, Anadrol occupies a significant place in the history of anabolic steroid development. Deca-Durabolin. Deca-Durabolin is the brand name most commonly associated with Nandrolone decanoate. Introduced during the 1960s, it became one of the most widely recognized anabolic steroids in both medicine and athletics. Physicians used it for several therapeutic purposes, while athletes valued its reputation for supporting muscle development. Its long-lasting nature and extensive history have made it one of the most studied compounds in its category. Nandrolone Phenylpropionate. Nandrolone Phenylpropionate is another form of nandrolone that releases into the body more quickly than Deca-Durabolin. While less famous than its longer-acting counterpart, it has existed for decades and played a role in both medical and athletic settings. The compound demonstrates how the same base hormone can be modified to create different release characteristics while maintaining many of its underlying properties. Trenbolone. Trenbolone was originally developed for veterinary applications rather than human medicine. Over time, it gained a reputation as one of the most powerful anabolic steroids ever created. Its history is unique because its initial purpose involved livestock production rather than clinical treatment. Within fitness culture, it has become one of the most discussed and controversial compounds due to its potency and distinct profile. Primobolan. Primobolan, or methanolone, was introduced as a relatively mild anabolic steroid compared to many of its contemporaries. It became known through both medical use and competitive bodybuilding circles. The compound achieved additional recognition because of its association with several high-profile athletes throughout fitness history. Its reputation has remained largely tied to individuals seeking anabolic effects while emphasizing a different balance of characteristics than more aggressive compounds. Masteron. Masteron, scientifically known as drostanolone, was originally developed for medical purposes during the mid-20th century. Later, it became particularly associated with physique-based sports and bodybuilding competitions. Its history reflects a broader pattern seen with many anabolic steroids, where compounds created for therapeutic applications eventually found their way into athletic environments. Winstrol. Winstrol, or stanozolol, gained widespread public attention beyond bodybuilding due to several high-profile sports scandals. Developed in the 1960s, it was initially used for medical treatment before becoming associated with athletic performance enhancement. Its visibility in mainstream media made it one of the most recognizable anabolic steroids among people who may know little about the broader category. Anavar, known chemically as oxandrolone, was originally designed for medical situations involving weight loss and recovery. Compared to many other anabolic steroids, it developed a reputation for being relatively mild. Its medical background and long history have contributed to its enduring recognition. Within fitness circles, Anavar often appears in discussions about compounds that occupy a different position from the more powerful steroids that dominate headlines. Turinabol. Turinabol was developed in East Germany during the Cold War era and became closely linked to one of the most significant state-sponsored sports programs in history. Decades later, historical records revealed the extent to which performance-enhancing substances were integrated into elite athletic systems. As a result, Turinabol occupies a unique place in discussions about sports history, politics, and performance enhancement. Equipoise, also known as Boldenone undecillinate, originated in veterinary medicine. It was primarily developed for use in animals, before later becoming known within bodybuilding and strength training communities. Its history highlights how some anabolic compounds moved from agricultural applications into broader discussions about athletic performance. Today, it remains one of the more recognizable names among long-acting anabolic steroids. Superdrol. Superdrol is a more recent addition compared to many classic anabolic steroids developed during the mid-20th century. Originally introduced as a designer compound, it became popular during an era when supplement and performance enhancement markets were rapidly evolving. Its rise illustrates how newer substances emerged long after the first generation of anabolic steroids had already established themselves within fitness culture. Despite its relatively recent appearance, it quickly became a notable name in discussions surrounding anabolic compounds.